Imagine this. The airport lights glow as usual, footsteps echo between departure gates, flight announcements blend into the background, and then suddenly, everything seems to stop. Welcome to Jikook Lover. Before you continue, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe because what we're about to talk about today is not just an airport look. It's a moment that made millions of hearts around the world melt without resistance. How is it possible that someone can simply walk through an airport? No stage, no music, no spotlight, yet still shake the emotions of everyone who sees him. And why is it that every time this happens, the name Jimin stands at the very center of it all? No one was truly prepared for that day. An airport is just an airport, a place of transit, of arrivals and departures, where emotions are usually held back because everyone is rushing against time. But that morning, the atmosphere shifted slowly, almost imperceptibly, before all eyes began to turn toward the same point. There was no official announcement. No dramatic lighting. Just light footsteps, a slender figure moving calmly, and a gentle aura that collided with the feelings of everyone watching. Jimin appeared like someone who wasn't trying to draw attention at all, and that was precisely what made it dangerous. His outfit looked simple, the colors understated, the silhouette clean and effortless. Yet beneath that simplicity, there was something impossible to explain. The way he walked wasn't like an idol conscious of cameras, but like someone completely at ease with himself. His shoulders were relaxed, his pace unhurried, as if the world wasn't staring at him through thousands of eyes and millions of phone screens capturing every second. And that's where everything fell apart. For just 1 second, a small smile appeared, almost accidental. Not a wide grin, not a dramatic expression. Just a subtle curve of his lips, like a quiet secret shared between him and the world. Fans standing several meters away suddenly fell silent. Some covered their mouths. Others lowered their gaze as they couldn't handle the warmth that arrived without warning. On social media, short clips began spreading instantly. "Why do I have goosebumps?" someone wrote. "He's just walking, so why does it feel like he's speaking to me?" another commented. This is Jimin's power, something that has always been difficult to explain with logic. He doesn't simply appear. He is felt. As a member of BTS, Jimin is no stranger to the world's biggest stages. Yet what made this airport moment so viral was precisely its contrast. There was no complex choreography, no high notes crashing into emotions, no grand concept. There was only Park Jimin, walking through a public space, unknowingly revealing the softest side of his charisma. Many asked what exactly makes people melt when they see him. Is it his face? Of course, Jimin is known for visuals that feel almost ethereal. But that's not the full answer. Is it his posture? His fashion sense that always looks effortless? Perhaps. But even that doesn't reach the core. What makes Jimin different is the sense of safety he radiates. In the cold, exhausting chaos of an airport, his presence feels like a pause, like a deep breath people didn't realize they needed. There is a gentleness that doesn't feel manufactured, a quietness that doesn't scream for attention, and because of that, it feels incredibly powerful. Among the crowd, some fans were seen with tears in their eyes. Not hysterical tears, not screams, but tears born from a feeling that arrived too suddenly. Like meeting someone you've missed for a long time, even though you've never truly known them. International media began highlighting the moment. Some articles called it the soft power of Jimin. Others described him as a walking contradiction, gentle yet unforgettable. And inevitably, the debate began. Some argued this was simply fan bias, that any BTS member would receive the same reaction. But then another question emerged. Why does it always feel different when it's Jimin? Why is the narrative never just about luxury or good looks, but about emotion? About hearts suddenly warming or chests tightening for no clear reason. Within fan communities, discussions grew more intense. People revisited Jimin's airport moments from the past. The pattern was always the same. Never excessive, never loud, yet always leaving a long emotional trace. As if there was a nonverbal language he spoke, one that could only be felt, not explained. And that's when the name Jikook began circulating once again. Some fans noticed tiny details. The way Jimin turned his head, the way he held back a smile, the way his body responded to the crowd. To some, these were just ordinary gestures. But to fans who are used to reading what remains unspoken, there was another layer of meaning. A quiet question surfaced. Does that calm come from something or someone that makes him feel whole? Is there a story that isn't being told, yet somehow still felt? These questions spread quickly. Hashtags began to rise. Slow-motion videos were analyzed frame by frame. Comments flooded in, some full of admiration, others full of speculation. Media outlets called it a phenomenon. Fans called it dangerous for the heart. One thing, however, was impossible to deny. Jimin didn't do anything extreme. He simply walked. And that was exactly where the magic lived. In an industry that constantly demands idols to be more, Jimin captures attention by being enough. Enough to exist. Enough to be himself. Enough to let people feel whatever they feel without guiding them. When he finally disappeared from view, the airport returned to being just an airport. People started moving again. Flight announcements filled the space once more. But something had changed. Phones were filled with recordings. Social media overflowed with captured moments. And in many hearts, an unexplainable feeling lingered, a feeling without a name. Perhaps that's why this moment felt so globally viral. Because in a noisy world, Jimin arrived with a silence that spoke louder than anything else. Because in the midst of performance, he felt real. And because with one simple walk through an airport, he reminded everyone that true charisma doesn't need to shout. So the question is no longer why all eyes melted. The real question is, was this truly just an airport look? Or is there something deeper about Jimin, about the emotions he awakens, about the unspoken connections, and about the bond that keeps fans asking, are we seeing everything, or have we only just begun to see the surface? What makes this moment even more compelling is how it continues to live long after Jimin has left the airport. Hours later, the clips were still circulating, climbing trending lists in multiple countries, crossing language barriers with ease. Fans in different time zones reacted as if they had all been there at the same moment, sharing the same breathless pause. That kind of collective emotional response doesn't happen often, and when it does, it usually signals something more than coincidence. Psychologists and pop culture commentators have long discussed why certain public figures evoke such intense emotional reactions without obvious triggers. With Jimin, many believe it's the combination of vulnerability and control. He never looks guarded, yet he never overshares. He appears open, but not exposed. That balance creates a quiet tension, one that invites people to project their own emotions, their own stories, onto him. In that airport hallway, Jimin became a mirror. Everyone saw something different, yet everyone felt something real. There is also the timing. In a world increasingly exhausted by spectacle, by overproduction, by constant noise, moments like this land harder. Jimin didn't demand attention, attention found him. And that distinction matters. It's why the footage feels intimate rather than invasive, why fans describe the experience not as excitement, but as comfort, warmth, even longing. Some fans went further, suggesting that the softness in his demeanor that day reflected an inner peace rarely seen. Others argued the opposite, that the gentleness carried a trace of melancholy, a quiet weight that made the moment even more affecting. Was he simply calm, or was there something on his mind? Was that faint smile a sign of contentment or restraint? The ambiguity only deepened the fascination. As the discussion grew, so did the mythology. Jimin's airport appearances have always been iconic, but this one was different. It wasn't about fashion headlines or brand speculation. It wasn't about status. It was about presence. About how a single human figure, moving through an ordinary space, could briefly shift the emotional atmosphere of thousands of people, and then millions more watching through screens. And perhaps that is the most powerful takeaway. Jimin didn't create a moment by trying. He created it by simply existing, by allowing himself to be seen as he was in that fleeting slice of time. In doing so, he reminded the world why authenticity, even in its quietest form, remains irresistible. So as the videos continue to loop, as fans continue to debate and dissect every second, one question lingers, one that refuses to fade. Was this truly just another viral airport moment destined to be replaced by the next headline? Or did Jimin, without saying a word, reveal something deeper about the kind of connection he holds with people, one that goes far beyond fame, choreography, or visuals, and touches something far more personal, far more human?